What is up? So, if you want to be spiritually enlightened, if you want to be free of all attachments, if you want to end your suffering, if you want to actually find happiness, if you want to experience all these incredible things with a partner, listen to this video. I am going to give you a spiritual practice that, in my opinion, is the most efficient, quickest, and most fun way to awakening, spiritual enlightenment. I call it Premasati yoga. It's actually a yoga that I came up with. I started out teaching Tantra because all the incredible potential that it had, not only for deeper connections, but also awakening. And I realized that I was putting my own spin on it. And it wasn't Tantra. It was way better and way more fun. And so much more all-encompassing of just all different aspects of our human nature. So I did a video on my main channel, Connor Murphy, where I talked about how this Premasati yoga helps you build a connection with a girl, helps you attract a girl. Helps you attract a girl when you're not even trying to attract a girl. In an actual genuine way, right? So go watch that video. Here I'm going to be talking about the incredible spiritual benefits of this practice that I called Premasati yoga, and why it's the most fastest and efficient and fun way to actually reach enlightenment or awakening. So, Premasati yoga. I got the word Premasati from the Sanskrit word for love, which is prema, and the Sanskrit word for awareness, which is sati. So Premasati yoga is love awareness yoga, intimacy and meditation combined. Yoga is actually, the Sanskrit word yoj is where yoga comes from, which means union. So it's this love, this intimacy combined with this awareness and meditation that can lead to union. The realization that you are the universe, that you are not separate from everything else. One with the universe. You know that spiritual cliche? That's what this practice does. So by now, if you're down the spiritual path, you realize that after years and years of meditation, years and years of spiritual practice, eventually there's this thing called awakening. And there are all these different aspects to awakening, but essentially you start realizing that you are God, that you are the entire universe, that you are the emptiness behind which all form appears, that you are not the mind and body, that your true sense of I am is much, much, much deeper than the human level. Okay? The issue is, not a lot of people have been getting there throughout all of time. Why? Because meditation is boring. Let's be honest. It is so worth it. So worth it. There's nothing you can do. There's no one practice that you can do that's more beneficial to your life than some sort of meditation. The issue is that it's boring. How are you going to get the average Westerner who has no time in their day, who is always rushed, who is constantly entrapped and immersed in these concepts, and wouldn't know direct experience if it slapped him in the face? Because really, it's doing more than that. That's all there is direct experience, and they don't even recognize it. So how do you get them to meditate? Right? Meditation is boring. Premasati yoga is a form of meditation that I believe is even more powerful because you're actually utilizing another being. Technically, that being is yourself, but you're utilizing another part of yourself, you see? It's a team effort in meditating, and it can be much more powerful and a lot more fun, see? Premasati yoga is meditation combined with intimate connection. You're meditating with someone that you're very attracted to on a physical level. And that makes it very fun, see? And it is only better than normal meditation because it is much easier to stay aware. Because remember, the whole point of meditation is to build your awareness. It's awareness practice. You're building up not only your concentration, but you're building up the ability to relax your body. And you're really just building up the ability to be aware. The issue is that if you're meditating by yourself and not well practiced in meditation, monkey mind, all of a sudden you forget that you're meditating, right? And again, you don't want to see this as a bad thing in meditation. Because when you recognize this monkey mind happening, when you realize that you're not aware, that it's actually the victory, then you bring your awareness back and you continue meditating. And that's the practice. But it is true that if somehow we could build our awareness so much that we don't have that monkey mind, right? That we stay concentrated for longer periods of time, that meditation practice would be enhanced, you see? And this is what Premasati yoga does, because you're meditating with a partner. This is similar to Tantra, but it's very different. I throw my own twists into it. Many New Age techniques are combined with it. Many ideas that I have gotten from just relationships in general are combined into it. Breathing techniques that I have created are combined into it. Where you're focusing your awareness, it's a very unique practice. And for example, one of the practices that is so powerful is simply something that I like to call spinal breathing or partner spinal breathing. You know, I might change these names. This is a very, very new practice, right? But essentially, it's when you and your partner are breathing in together and breathing out together in synchronicity. And you're focusing on the prana, the breath energy, going in your mouth or nose, and then down your spine, all the way to the base of your spine, and then back up. Now, where this is enhanced is because during this practice, your partner is actually tracing that breath down and up your spine. You see, you're both doing this. Do you see how much harder it is to lose the awareness of the breath than if you were just meditating solo? Because all of a sudden, this breath has so many more aspects of it that you can be aware of. You can be aware of the actual feeling of the breath in through the nose and down through the spine. Or you can be aware of your partner's hands that are actually tracing the breath. And all during this, you're soul gazing into the partner's left eye, which increases your vulnerability and destroys the separation between the two of you. And this is another object of attention. So do you see, you're kind of overloading yourself with all these objects of attention that it's so hard to go off in monkey mind, right? And this is the power of Premasati yoga, simply from a meditative standpoint. Simply from a basic awareness practice standpoint, it's much easier to stay aware with your partner. And I've designed these different exercises and techniques specifically for this. And of course, the basic position, the most fundamental position, the position you'll be spending most time in is called the yab-yum position, where you're cross-legged or in a lotus position and the girl or your partner is on top with her legs wrapped around you. Guys, how much more fun would it be to meditate looking into the eye of someone who you're very attracted to with her on your lap? How much more fun is that than meditating by yourself? Not only is it more fun, but it is so much more powerful. And again, the staring into the eye part might seem awkward to you right now. It used to be awkward to me. I used to have a lot of social anxiety. But see, that's what we're trying to break down. Right now, we have this sense of separateness between us and others. And that is the cause for most, if not all, of our suffering. Because we see ourselves as this tiny fragment in the universe instead of the entire thing. When you get extremely vulnerable and actually surrender to your partner, surrender to the entire universe, that sense of self slips away. Now, this is not the goal in Premasati yoga. The goal in Premasati yoga, the only goal is awareness, is to be aware. That's the only goal. But You can have this incredible experience that is the fruit of the labor in which your sense of self disappears. That's a common spiritual phenomenon, is that you think that you're this entity behind your eyes. Somehow there's a CEO somewhere in your brain, somewhere in your head, that is somehow controlling everything that you're doing. You'll find through spiritual practice that that's just a concept that does not exist. There's not actually an entity there. Because the true entity is you. The true entity is the emptiness in which all form is appearing. You're the entire field of awareness. You are the entire field of consciousness. It's just an illusion that you have this sense of self. And this sense of self is the cause of suffering. This sense of separateness. That you are this entity and everything else is separate. And while you can meditate for 50 years, like Buddhist monks do, and experience this, and yes, some people do it a lot quicker, you have a much higher chance of experiencing this phenomenon with another person. Because with Premasati Yoga, I give you these techniques that destroy your egos. You have very specific conversations about your insecurities, about anything that is uncomfortable between you two, about your fears. You be completely honest. You give up any secrets that you're hiding. And slowly, depending on how hard you go with this practice, it could be very quick actually, you two destroy your ego so much within the vicinity of one another that all of a sudden, you start seeing that other person as you. The sense of self is demolished. You get everything out on the table that is holding you back. Everything out on the table that is giving you the illusion that you're a separate being from your partner. And you two merge into one. Now again, this doesn't happen necessarily the first time. It could. This is a progressive thing that only gets more powerful the deeper and deeper you fall into unconditional love with your partner. The only being there is God, is you, in the entire universe. There's only one being. God is unconditional love. Unconditional love is desire for something exactly how it is. Pure desire. Right now, you have desire, but it's not pure desire because if you really think about it, you desire something, but you would like it to be a little bit different. Say you desire a car. Well, that car could always be a little better. So you don't truly desire the car. Well, you're actually just attached to this car. God, you, the universe, existence, and unconditional love are synonymous. Because there's only one being. And that being, at its core, of course, has complete unconditional love for itself. Because it's the only thing in existence. It would be pure insanity not to love itself exactly how it is. And of course, this being, this you, is infinite imagination. It's infinite power. It's infinite possibility. So how could it not be completely in love with itself? Realizing unconditional love is a huge aspect of awakening. There are many different aspects, but that's a big one. Realizing the perfection of existence. This is something that is so much more attainable through Premasati Yoga. Because you and your partner strip down the egos. Strip down anything that is holding you two back from union, from yoj, from yoga. You destroy anything that's keeping you from having unconditional love for each other. You strip everything down that's keeping you from having unconditional love for yourself, for your small self, for your human form. So you see, this practice is just so much more powerful because it is utilizing another person. This is why biblical texts harp on the importance of deep relationships. This is why Christians want you to wait before marriage, or don't be intimate before marriage. They want you to wait till after marriage. It's just the Christian texts, the Christian teachings have been so perverted from their core. Egos have twisted the meaning of the Christian religion that it's so misinterpreted. They believe it's saying something that it's not. The reason that you want to be married before intimacy is because ancient religions realized that a deep physical and spiritual connection can lead to the realization of God. Christians have forgotten that because they don't know what God is. They think God is some concept, some man in the sky. God is right here, right now. God is you. God is something that you can experience. God is something that you can realize. God is something that you are, that you can realize that you are. But see, this does not have to be accomplished in marriage. Yes, marriage might help this to happen because you dedicate yourself to one partner and you can become super, super connected to that partner because you're dedicating all your time and energy into that one partner. But, see, it does not work unless you're actually putting the spiritual practice into play. Couples could be married for 20 years and never experience this union. They're hiding stuff from each other. They're dishonest. They don't talk about their insecurities. They don't talk about their secrets. They don't talk about what makes them uncomfortable. They hide it from each other. I could get closer to a girl in one day. Closer on an existential level with Premasati yoga than some people are to their partners and they've been married for 40 years. Okay? So it's about the quality of the relationship, not the duration of the relationship. The other issue with this marriage is that it is attachment. If you put any restriction on your partner, and marriage is a big restriction, you're signing a freaking contract. If you put any restriction on your partner, that is attachment. It's not unconditional love. And this might be hard to stomach right now because you have not yet awakened and realized the beautiful freedom of unconditional love and that love is infinite. It might be hard for you to stomach. But any restriction is attachment. It's not love. If you truly love someone unconditionally, you allow them to completely be themselves. You let them manifest their existence exactly how they feel they should. There is no sense of controlling someone else, and there's no attachment at all. That's what unconditional love is. And that's where marriage has its flaws. Because marriage makes you see love as finite. Marriage makes you see the illusion that by loving someone else, you're taking away your love for the other person. No, not true love. If you become more attached to one person, you will become less attached to the other. That is absolutely true. We have confused attachment with love. Love is infinite. Loving one person does not mean that you love a different person any less, because true unconditional love is absolutely infinite. And this is what this practice can show you. Premasati yoga is the ultimate tool for the full realization of so many different aspects of awakening. The aspect that you are the universe, that you are God, the aspect of unconditional love, the aspect of unity, togetherness, the aspect of the perfection of the universe. All these can be accomplished by Premasati yoga, and it is so freaking fun. I'll be doing a lot of videos on my main channel, Connor Murphy, showing you the different poses, right? That's gonna be the most fun, right? And again, this practice can be taken to the most intimate level. It can be done in the park, but the more powerful version of this is in the bedroom, where you can be truly vulnerable and become close at the, pun intended, deepest level. So I'm so excited about this new practice called Premasati Yoga. I think the world needs this. It's a way to get everyone to meditate. It's a way to get the entire world to meditate. You'll actually find that the pleasureful experiences are even better than normal. And the pleasureful experiences are only enhanced by your spirituality. So it'll only motivate you to raise your awareness more and more and more and more. So yeah, I'll be doing a lot of different videos. I mean, that's pretty much all I'll be doing is teaching this, right? Every conceptual framework that I lay out on this channel, Connor Murphy Talks, is part of Premasati Yoga. Because part of Premasati Yoga is actually talking about the nature of existence. See, you're connecting with a girl at her soul. There's no small talk in Premasati Yoga. You go deep right away. But it's designed in a way where it's not weird, because it's taking place in a weird practice. So it somehow makes it not weird. Trust me, I've done it, and I'm not lying. It seems paradoxical, but paradoxes are actually truth. So yeah, all these concepts that I lay out in the channel Connor Murphy Talks are actually what they are. They're the conversational topics for Premasati Yoga. Do you see? And of course, Premasati Yoga goes so much deeper. But I actually have a video. It's called Connor Murphy Teaches Tantra. It's not Tantra. You just look at our conversation, right? It's my own thing. But you can see how the conversation goes, where I talk to this girl about the nature of reality. And the more your partner starts understanding these concepts and learning these concepts, the better these conversations you will have. And the more you will expand your knowledge just by having these conversations. It's this positive feedback loop that just keeps on giving and giving and giving. It's just absolute perfection. So there's so many different aspects to this, and I'll be showing you this throughout so many different videos on this channel and my channel, Connor Murphy. Connor Murphy will be more of the actual practice, the physical practice. This will be more of the conversational type stuff, right? Those are the two different parts. It's the mental and the physical. All of it is the spiritual. So I love you guys unconditionally. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned. The world is going to get so epic. I promise you. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.